When I was 16 years old, I did my first gig, and it was a local jam night in my hometown. We blagged a spot on, we got to play 2 songs. I remember going down with my blue BC Rich bass with the pointy headstock and waiting around watching everyone. I didn't have an amp, I only had a little practice amp, so I used the amp that was on stage. I remember it was huge and I was like, this is like Wembley Stadium. And we were waiting, and it was like, there was quite a lot of people in there because like Sunday lunchtime, that was where everyone went on a Sunday lunchtime. We got on stage and the guy helped me plug in, and then drummer counted in. We played these 2 songs. Finished the 2 songs, I walked off the stage, and I remember there was like, people were shouting and clapping, and I walked off, and this dude, as I walked off, just patted me on the shoulder and he just went, "Well done, son, that was awesome," or "that was amazing." And I was like, yeah! That feeling of walking off stage, the nervousness of walking on and playing those songs that you practiced and practiced and practiced, walk off for someone to say, "Well done." Now looking back, it was horrible. I was horrible, it was horrible. You know, I'm sure no one in the pub were going, "Wow, these guys are amazing." It was our first ever gig. It was certainly my first ever gig. But what was amazing about it was the support. And what was amazing about that environment was you were allowed to cut your teeth. You were allowed to get started. There was the context of, by the way, these are young people starting their career, starting their journey, all just having fun with a hobby, and everyone understood and everyone was a part of that moment, and so everybody wanted to contribute in a very positive way. Fast forward to today's online world, and when you're cutting your teeth at the beginning, there isn't that context, which means you get a lot of deafening silence, a lot of opinions, and sometimes even hate. And online hate is the purpose of this video. In fact, before we even start, I would love it, whilst you're listening, if in the comments below, you can give me what you've had as your worst/best online hate comment, something that has really stuck with you, because that's the purpose of this video. And I love the upsides of social media. I think we live in a time where I can make a video and it can be seen 10,000 miles away by someone who connects with me that had no chance of finding me, and I had no chance of finding them, completely for free. You rewind 20 years back and labels were paying millions for that reach, millions for that engagement, millions for those adverts to get their artists in front of people. I love that about social media, but there are huge negatives. There's huge negatives to social media. A lot of it revolves around the opinions, the belittling, and the hate that comes, and therefore the fear of putting yourself out there. This isn't just around the hate comment itself. This is everything around it, including the fear of posting and the perfectionism that comes from not looking our best and the reactions that we will get, which can potentially result in artists simply giving up and not wanting to post or write music anymore, which is such a shame. Now, I get my fair share of hate. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, "Damian, surely not. You can't possibly get any hate." Well, it turns out I get plenty of hate, as you can see by these comments. But I got pretty thick skin, and to be fair, I know my flaws. I'm self-aware enough to know the things that most people are pointing out. Doesn't come as a surprise, but doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. I still read the comments. I still see a lot of these comments. And I'm playing the game like anybody else. When I'm making a YouTube video, I have to think about the thumbnail, I have to think about the title, and I have to think about the subject matter that hopefully you want to see. So I'm not thinking about the algorithm. I'm thinking, hang on, is this something that is going to actually be viewed? Because just because I think it's good content, you might not. But then I have to actually get the attention, which means I have to do this. Oh no, Daniel Ek. Oh no, Spotify. I'm in my 40s. If I'm honest, this doesn't surprise me that much. It didn't surprise me that Joe Rogan took 100 million to go to Spotify. But in the thumbnail, shock, horror. I'm just not that surprised, if I'm honest with you. But that's the game we play. And in doing so, what we're doing is we're inviting people in to watch our content. Some of those people are in our community and they understand the context. Other people are seeing you for the first time, and those people might take it out of context or might just dislike you. Guys, quick interruption. You're clearly releasing music and serious about getting results. So have you checked out DK Music Business Academy? It's got over 50 hours worth of courses, including the Roadmap to 1 Million Streams course. What have you got to lose? 7-day free trial, links in the description. let's crack on with the video. I often get asked the question in DKMBA, how do you deal with trolls? I don't like the question because I don't really know if there is an answer. I don't know the answer. I feel like I hear Gary Vee, and Gary Vee saying, I feel sorry for the trolls. And I think, I don't feel sorry for the trolls. I hope they get hit by a car. And then people say, hey, just ignore them. And I think, what do you mean ignore them? This is my social media platform, and this is my comment section. It's like something happened in your back garden, and you just go, hey, just ignore it. And you're like, no, it's my garden. This is my place. Very difficult to ignore. And I understand, just block it. But in order to block it, you have to see it. And the thing is, you're never going to stop it. And anyone who says they don't care, I mean, I just think you're a psycho if you don't care. If that doesn't affect you in any way whatsoever, when these people are really going in, they're going past the debate. I love a good debate, and I'll debate my strategies and my ideas. I'll debate them till the cows come home. But this isn't debating. This isn't, I think you're wrong because. This is just out and out trolling, and just ignoring or not caring about it is very, very difficult. Anyway, this isn't about me and my trolls. This is a bigger picture than that. When you are an artist, you are more than a songwriter. You are more than a singer. You are somebody who stands for something, somebody who connects with an audience. And the songs, the lyrics, the subject matter, your look, the things that you believe in, your belief system, all of these things make up you as an artist. If it's just a song, it's like, oh, that's a hit song. It's a very different thing. If you're a singer, it's like, yeah, I can go and do gigs and entertain. But an artist is something different. But when you are an artist, everything is you and what you believe in. So when you are putting yourself out there, you're putting yourself on the line, it's about as scary thing as you can possibly do, only for someone to have the power to be able to tear you down in a couple of words. It can be incredibly damaging. And what's really weird is we live in this time where mental health is at the top of the agenda. It's so important. Meanwhile, online trolls is as high as it's ever been. And a lot of the time, the same people who are banging on about mental health are the ones doing the trolling, which I find just inception, mind-blowing. And this isn't just about YouTube comments or Instagram comments or any social media comments. This is a lack of compassion throughout a lot of the industry. Let's talk about Submit Hub, for example. If anyone has used Submit Hub is where that you can submit your songs for playlists, and people who own decent-sized playlists can get paid to listen to your track in order to decide whether it can go on their playlist. But now there's this thing where they have to give feedback, but the feedback tends to be this weird, sadistic kind of far too brutal and far too honest for the artist without any context whatsoever. Now, I get it. You've done really well and you've built up a playlist and you want to be able to monetize your hard work. I get that. But I'll be fucked if I'm going to listen to some incel who's basically living in his mum's basement on his 6th jerk off of the day, listening to a track, telling him that the vocals need a little bit more reverb, and that's why it can't go on a playlist. I'm like, get over yourself. What are you talking about? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Somebody wrote a comment on my YouTube this week and it just said, this is so basic. If you don't know this, you shouldn't be doing this. It was something like that. And I just thought, wow, like the belittling and context. Like, just because you know how to do something, it doesn't mean everyone knows how to do something. And how many artists right now have just written their first song, or they've just come out of the studio for the first time and they're thinking, how do I put this on Spotify? Where are you going to go? You're going to go to YouTube. Makes complete sense. And that artist could potentially be a massive artist in 5 or 10 years' time, but they've got to start somewhere. The same way as everyone has to do their first gig, everyone has to write their first song, everyone has to upload their first video. And this kind of lack of compassion, lack of support and belittling for someone who is not on the same page as them, or thinking of it as I need to facilitate the most top-end artists because otherwise I'm too basic, I just don't buy it. I just want to go back to the beginning of walking off that stage and that guy patting me on the back and saying, well done, son. I remember even what he looks like. And the feeling of support and community, and that I'd learned something, that I'd achieved something in that moment. It felt amazing. Now, we are never going to stop dickheads on YouTube or any other platform tearing people down because hurt people hurt people. We can't stop that. But I do think there is something that we can do. We can support and empower people with our comments. We can take that 10 seconds out of our day when something has popped up in front of us for us to just leave that comment, to say, well done, this is great, or I really enjoyed this. Something really specific to say, I watched this, keep on going, well done. It doesn't have to be patronizing, it just has to be just that boost, because you never know. You just don't know the context of what that person is going through. You don't know where that person is with their music. They might be literally about to give up. And all of a sudden, they get someone who says, I'm listening, I heard, well done. That might be all it takes for them to go and write the next song, and the next song, and the next song, and go into having a career in music. Now, what we can't do is we can't jump in and start defending, because that is literally what is going to get these trolls. That's going to get their dicks hard. That's what they want. But what we can do is say, look, I don't care about them. What I can do, instead of trying to tear people down, I can use this as a community, as artists, because that's what we are. We're creatives, we're artists. And we're artists and creatives all at different places. So when we see someone who's doing their best, just the power of a comment. We can see the power of a comment for tearing people down. What about the power of a comment that can build someone up? To just say, I'm listening, well done. We live in a world now where comments are an incredibly powerful tool. The problem is they tend to be used more for bad things than good, because we're opinionated and we want to get our point across, instead of saying, hang on, I can give someone a pat on the back and just say, that was really, really good. And that's the purpose of this video. I get my fair share of hate. I don't need that. But I feel like if I walked off stage when I was 16 and everyone ripped into me and just went, what are you doing? Like, what do you think that you're doing? I don't think I would have gone home and practiced. I don't think I would have turned up to the next band rehearsal. I don't think I would have turned up to any more gigs. And I probably would be working in the factory that I started off before I left to go and figure out how to be involved in the music industry. Your comments go a long way. And I feel like now is the time for us as a community to start using these comments to start building people up, because you never know what will happen to you when you're building other people up. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening, watching. If you got this far, if you do me a favor, just hit that like button. Come and subscribe if you're not. Come and be a part of this community. And otherwise, have a great couple of days, maybe with a little bit of empowerment to other artists. I'll catch you guys soon.